Welcome to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
I am Simon. I play Bertha Huggins, aka Huggy Bear.
I'm Al, or Draenor. I'm playing Mav or Maverick.
My name is Les, and I will be playing Urine.
I'm Anna, or Ardwin. I play Slipstream.
My name is Jack. I'm going to be playing Toiger.
Hello, I'm Michael, and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian. I am the GM. If you would like to follow our runner's journey through 2072's New York, please feel free to check out the link to our living campaign map in the show notes. Additionally, if you would like to submit any new locations or create background information for any of the districts, details on how to submit this can also be found in the show notes. The following content may contain themes and material not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Last time on the podcast, the runners found Frankie alright, but now he's got Abby, who the runners were asked to rescue from him, unconscious and held with his razor fingers to her face, threatening to carve her up if the runners don't back off. Can the runners save Abby and get their payday? We are now at the beginning of Pass 3, so not everybody will get to act in this pass. Huggy, what would you like to do? It's your turn.
I would like to hot sim into Hansel, the one that can actually see him.
Yep, that is absolutely fine. You've switched your perception from Grendel's mother, your big old van, to Hansel. So what, you have another simple action left. What would you like to do? You also do have a free action.
I am going to hold that action. Is it possible to do a cold shot as a burst fire?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to target to cold shot to that guy's the hands that he's holding the razors with, or that he's got the razors on.
Okay, so are you holding that action or are you taking it now?
I'm holding that action. If he moves it towards her face at all, I want to make a cold shot to his hand.
That puts us on to Slipstream's turn. What would you like to do, buddy?
I would like to Grand Jeté over the top of these goons. So I believe running jump.
Yep, so we'll need a gymnastics check.
Which is free action. And I have speciality in dance and great leap.
Okie doke.
Which increases my dice pool and also increases my agility stat by 1 for purpose of working out max distance heights on stuff.
So are you basically like wall running above these guys in a particularly flouncy ballet type fashion to get into combat with Frankie?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So this is just move. I want to put myself with sword at asshole's throat. I is using dance because it's very on point.
You're going to shank a bitch and look good whilst doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, reasonable.
I mean, isn't that just Slipstream in one line?
I mean, you're not wrong. Holy shit, yeah,
I cannot see results.
You got 7 hits.
Yes, it's okay. I am thinking maybe to post edge because I have 8 dice did not score. So I will post edge.
Okay.
Just because.
Because you can, and why the fuck not?
That seems a little bit excessive, but there we go.
That is also Slipstream in one sentence.
That is also correct.
Yeah, 8. Plus another 3. 10.
Oh my god. So 10 hits. How high is he going?
He's going 2 meters up. He can go up to 11 meters across and 2 meters up.
You have just enough height to clear the gangers. Not enough to clear Murin, but you're not stupid enough to try and jump a troll.
No, because I will jump off corpse of Mook on floor. Yeah?
So you only needed 6 meters to get into combat with Frankie. So you just one step and then leap, and you're kind of posing with your arms as you're doing this.
I am like Grand Jete, so arms out, legs full split, and then I land with my sword at asshole throat. I want to hold complex action, and I'm going to threaten asshole and go, right, who'd you let girl go? Who do you think is fast on draw now? And if he moves, I'm I don't care because we only need his comlink, right?
All right, that sounds like an intimidate check.
We want him alive for extra money, but that's not really.
Well, he is not civilian.
He is a smaller paycheck.
We need his comlink. We want him alive.
I'm gonna say that you can either sort of talk and intimidate him, or hold the sword at his throat, just because of the way the action economy works. What would you prefer? Or I'll let you drop a point of edge and do both.
Cool, I will drop point edge.
Cool. Roll me an intimidation check.
If guy knows stuff about ballet, I get extras. But
You think this guy knows anything
No,
about
I
ballet?
Might.
I mean, you very judgmental, Games Master.
He's not exactly the gangs of New York Billy Elliot. You got 2 hits, he got 2 hits, defenders win ties, so he's just kind of looking at... He's mostly just surprised at...
Do I get bonus for my awesome?
Yeah, alright, I'll give you a +1, why not? Let's see what happens.
Nope. Oh,
Nope.
cool. Well, I still hold complex action.
So meanwhile, back in the Matrix, the guy in his stupid Confederate uniform just fires his pistol at Sunshine, and anybody who happens to be in the van with her just sees that her comlink has just started spitting and sputtering sparks everywhere. Grendel, your turn.
Gretel, rather.
Gretel, yes. Sorry, very similar names. Tired GM.
So yeah, Gretel I think has moved as far as Gretel can move. And there's nobody in sight. I don't think there's anything Gretel can do right now.
Okay, fair enough. That brings us around to Grendel, because sadly Mirren only has 2 passes and we're on the beginning of pass 3.
Well, Grendel is also out of it at the moment because somebody needs to try and pull a bullet out of its gun. Actually, no, it's going to stick where it is because assuming that the people looking at me, I was assuming that anybody who comes out of there doesn't know that the gun's jammed, it's still an LMG pointing at them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Mav, your turn, buddy.
Right, I'm going to try the sodding sprinting thing again. I might only need 1 roll. If I can roll sodding
Yeah,
average.
you don't need to go that far. You only need to get, 4 meters?
3 meters will get me to the corner and then I can shoot round.
And then you can lay down the lead hose.
With 7 dice.
Let's see what you get.
Hey.
Nice. So you can go up to 6 meters. Where would you like to go with 3 hits?
Where would you like to go today? I'm on the corner, covering.
Okay, are you taking a shot?
The guy hasn't acted yet, so no, I'm just adding to the
Okay, cool.
array of weapons pointed his way.
Absolutely fine. So that puts us on to Sunshine's turn, who is slightly pissed off that this guy is a douche-canoe and is going to roll an attack back at him. They both get 3 hits, so still a little bit of a slapping match. Frankie is looking at Slipstream and looking pretty fragging nervous at this point because, you know, a Russian just jumped over his mates and looked damn good while doing it. And he's kind of looking Slipstream in the eye after Slipstream just threatened him and says to Slipstream, "What the frag do you want? Get the hell out of my place or I will fragging cut her."
Well, Slipstream is very reasonable Russian, so we'll stab guy in the neck. What?
Okay, so you're using your held action then.
Yep.
Okay, so make me an attack roll. I'm going to say that you do not get a charge bonus because you ran up to him and then paused. Are you doing this as a cold shot or just a general attack?
Actually, I'm thinking I maybe want to slip under and take his... Because he has, like, blades aimed at her neck.
He's got an obvious cyber hand that has, like, razor blades coming out the fingertips.
What if I wanted to take off Cyberhand?
Normally in 4th edition, the way that this works is that you lose a die for every additional bit of damage that you cause. However, I'll say that if we cap the physical damage, so you can do no more than 4 physical damage, but you can cut his hand off if you succeed.
Yes.
And I'll say that you're on a penalty of -3 to do this.
So -3 plus 1.
Yes, so 2 net. And are you dropping any edge on this?
I have no edge left. I used it all on last thing.
You go to flick the sword at his wrist, and with the cyber hand, he just grabs the blade and slaps it away.
But he has to use his complex action to do this, you know?
That's his defense against yours. He then gets his action.
I believe if he gets his action, that triggers my held action.
Okay, so you're using your held action. Go for it.
Yeah, I am shooting this guy's hand. He's going to try and cut her. This is a narrow burst. I'm trying to focus as much damage into just his hand as possible.
Okay, so -3, roll it.
And I am going to pre-edge this.
Okie doke.
And that is 6 hits.
He has 1 hit.
So that is a total of 17 AP -1.
Well, he blocked 2 of it, so he's taking the maximum of 4. Yeah, 6 rounds just slam into his wrist, and he screams, and there's bits of cyber hand just flying all across the room as you just... It smashes into the palm, and just fingers spray all over the place. One of them gets stuck in the pool table with the razor blade coming out the tip of it, blows off the rest of it at the wrist, and the shattered remnants of his palm just spray all over the room, and the other 3 go into the forearm of his cyber arm and just split it down the middle, and there's wires sticking out, there's sparks, there's bits of hydraulic fluid everywhere.
Fuck yeah!
On his turn, he's mostly going to scream.
That is what you fucking get when you threaten people on my watch.
Yep. So he's having a bad day now.
Can make a bad day worse.
Well,
You could.
I fully intend to make bad day worse.
I need to say the scream is a complex action and make it a yodel.
That is my gimmick, don't go stealing my gimmick.
I'm just rolling up Sunshine's Matrix agent, which tries to attack the Decker and does nothing.
I've still got a held action. Can I take that?
Yes, you can indeed take your held action before we go around to the beginning of pass 4.
I'm gonna shoot the guy because he's no longer holding a hostage.
Oh, please remember, we get extra money for him being live.
You know what my M202 is loaded with at the moment?
Stick and shock.
It is loaded with stick and shock.
Well then, be my guest.
It's loaded with lie the frag down.
Indeed. On which note, long, narrow, fuck you.
All right. The less I know about your long, narrow, go fuck yourself, the better.
Oh, and just to make it worse, I'm going to turn the edge slider
Oh,
on.
you bastard. Do it. This guy is operating at so many goddamn penalties right now.
That's only 10 hits.
That is the most evil giggle I have ever heard. That's a proper
Thank you.
supervillain giggle.
Spoilers, I'm actually the supervillain in this group. Nobody expected this.
How many hits did you get, please?
10 hits. How many net hits did I get?
You have 10 net hits. So that's 16 stun AP minus half that he's got to resist.
Long burst.
Oh, God. Okay, 21 stun AP minus half. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
That seems
Excessive.
like it might
Excessive?
do a bit of damage.
He is now 1 into physical overflow. He's staring at the shattered remnants of his arm in horror as just these bullets come in, smash his glasses, and the taser rounds just all stick into his face, and he just screams, and there's blood coming out of his eyes and ears as his brain just gets fried by these things. I'm going to say he is not dead. I'm going to give him the Shadowrun equivalent of death saving throws. I can't remember what they're called right now. But yeah, that was an entertaining turn. So we're on to pass 4. Slipstream, the guy is now dying at your feet.
Oh no, what a shame. Woe is me. It would be terrible if I used the opportunities to slice through hamstrings, yes?
You were gonna kill him.
Yeah, I will say that would be a physical attack, and you will run the risk of, killing the guy.
What if all I want to do is maim him? Can I take... He is not maimed enough.
He's already fucking maimed.
He doesn't have any eyes or ears at the minute.
I would like to point out that there are some dudes right behind you.
Okay, so to get to Deca and wreck Deca's day, this is going to be running, athletics,
Okay.
to do extra move, simple action. I'll throw in extra little pirouette at the end.
So you get just enough hit, and as you start running, you make sure to stamp on Frankie's bollocks.
Well, yes. What do you think I use for launchpad? Was very small target, but slightly shriveled from recent activity.
Between this guy and the guy at the motorcycle garage, I'm sensing a pattern.
Yeah, is probably not completely with it, and also very much not civilian.
Yep.
Are you using this as a charging attack at the dude? He's running an action.
Okay, in which case I shall not use running, I shall use jumping, because running jump is reaction.
Ah, the angry Russian stabby tigger.
Yes.
You won't be able to attack on this pass, but you get to go before he does, so...
It's the same thing.
That puts us back around to the beginning of the turn order and on to turn 2. So, Huggy, you're rigged into Hansel, was it?
Yeah, I'm rigged into Hansel.
Okay, so are you wanting to do a thing? There's a bunch of gangers there. The dude's dying. You've basically just got to clear this place out, and that's it.
Yeah, I think I am going to shoot the nearest ganger.
Okay, go ahead.
Not trying anything special this time, just shooting him.
All right.
And this will be a short, narrow burst. That's 6 net hits.
Okay, so you have 6 hits, so that's 5 net because he got 1 hit. So how much damage is he resisting, please?
Is 13.
13. Okay, so he actually managed to soak 5 of that, which is quite impressive. So he actually took 8 of it. Where do these rounds hit him?
I'm aiming for center of mass.
Bits of his lung explode out the back of his chest, along with some bone shrapnel in his mate's face. His
friends are having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, better than him right now.
All right, so Slipstream asked me off list about a simple action that they could have taken on their turn, and I have said yes. So what is it that you would like to do there, Slipstream?
Oh, well, using second simple action, I will yank lead from Deca's head, forcing bitch to deal with dump shock.
Yep. So the decker is plugged in, his data jack in his skull is plugged into his comm link, and that's how he's decking. You just run over, grab the cable, and go, frag you, and yank it out.
Yes, because problems caused. Here I am. I was like, oh, I remember this stupid rule. I wonder if Min does.
I remember that it exists. So he's got to resist 5 physical because he was in hot sim, as his brain just gets fried here. He's got to resist this on willpower plus his biofeedback program, if he has one. He's just taken 3 physical from this, as he just kind of wakes up going, ah! Clutching at his head and flinching and generally looking quite unhappy. It's not a good day for him.
It's my go now, yes?
Yes.
Well,
Because that was actually your action from the second one that I allowed you to take now because rule of cool.
yep. Well, I have bladed sword. He has neck. I think it is time to become acquainted.
Yeah, fair. Do it.
I have no modifiers there.
Not at this point in time.
Oh, this will spoil day.
So how many hits did you get there, please, Slipstream?
Oh, that would be 7.
So between his physical damage and the dump shock, he actually has no dice here, so you have 7 net hits.
Oh no! Woe is me.
Woe is, in fact, him. So what was the total damage that he needs to resist again, please?
Is 16.
Well, he resisted 2 of it.
No, what's a shame. So, Slipstream slips Cossack sword between deck and decker, draws neatly across, uses a little bit too much force, carves clear through his neck to his spine, head is lolling, supported only by spinal cord. Blood is sprayed everywhere, his deck is wrecked, there is lovely splash effect all round room. Quite fortunate for our friend Sunshine.
That pool table in here is ruined. It's the felt's been torn by Frankie's cyber fingers being sprayed everywhere by gunshot, and now it's full of blood. That pool table's a write-off.
Stupid American game for stupid Americanskis who do not understand billiards.
Mirren, your turn. What would you like to do, big guy?
What,
Yeah,
really?
it's your turn.
I've been feeling like one of the red-headed guys in the hallway here. When did they last move?
They only have 1 pass. You have 2.
Oh, no.
They're gangers.
Yeah, true. Well, since most things are cleared up, I guess there's just a bit of butchery to be done here, so...
Yeah, I mean, the one immediately in front of you, he's looking pretty injured. You carved him up pretty nicely before, so do you want to finish the job, I suppose?
I suppose as good as a place to start as any, isn't it? That was 3 hits on the combat axe there.
Cool. You have 2 net. What's your damage, please, bud?
9.
So he stopped 2 of it. He was on 8 boxes before, and he's just taken another 7. He is very dead. How is this individual dying?
Ooh, axe to the top of the head, I think. Good old cleaving action.
So you've split him from balls to brain.
The other way, I'm not a horrible Russian monster, but yes.
Gee, Murin, we never knew you had such great cleavage.
So, also, not them, because I am beautiful Russian monster.
Hey, that was private thoughts in my head, not on comms. I wouldn't want to piss you off.
You should not be thinking things out loud, huh?
Yes, we're sorry, sir.
Murin just kind of winds up with one hand, swings, it carves a big gouge into the ceiling, and then this axe just comes down on the top crown of his head, straight down smashes through sternum and rib cage, and there's just blood everywhere. And it's not quite far enough to have the two halves fall apart. They kind of try to, and then the whole lot just falls backwards, either side of the guy behind him's feet, who is just looking utterly terrified at this point.
I'm gonna have to resharpen my axe up here.
Grendel, your turn.
Grendel's turn. Well, Grendel is still jammed, so I'm going to leave him where he is for the moment.
I'm now imagining the drone rolling over to the van, and you know how cows will like scratch themselves against a car, like rub their heads up against it?
That is hilarious, and I wanted to do it now. Yes, that is what happened.
I'm just imagining the drone doing this, trying to clear the bullet casing.
Yes, that is now what it is doing.
Making sad, angry little beeping noises.
All right, cool. So there's now a Doberman scratching its gun head thing against the van. Beep, boop, boop. Hansel is...
You can hear its emotions in the servo motors.
The van's Grendel's mother, isn't it? He's ran to his mum for help. Oh, I feel sorry for a murder robot.
Yes, this is the case. Everybody feels sorry for the murder robot. It didn't choose to be a murder robot. It is forced to be a murder robot by the society it has grown up in.
Hansel is currently being rigged, so Hansel will not get to do anything. However, Toiga, your Spirit of Beasts gets its turn. Had you given it any instructions?
At the minute, it's just sort of lurking nearby. I was planning on having it rush forward and kill the guy at the front door, but that problem is rather taking care of itself.
Somewhat. There's currently a cat in a kimono hanging out in the van. However, it is a Spirit of Beast, so it doesn't entirely obey the laws of our world. So the fur actually is made up of like hedgehog spines. So it's a cat, but it's a dangerous floof. You don't want to stroke it. It'll be quite pointy.
It's a cadjog!
He wants you to stroke him. Don't stroke him.
He will roll over in your lap just to stab you because he's a cat.
That does sound like what a cat would do.
It does somewhat, yeah. Mav, your turn, since the porcu cat is just hanging out doing its thing.
Demanding belly rubs from Sunshine and not understanding why she won't lean over and give him belly rubs.
So, there are still 3 gangers in front of me in various states of fucked up.
Fucked up.
As a free action, Mav's machine gun emits an ominous clicking sound as it changes ammunition.
Okay.
The fucked up dude on the left is going to get the short burst of the round. Short, narrow, lethal ammo.
Alright. Roll it for me.
Well, 7 hits.
Bloody hell! So you have 7 net. I'm not even bothering to roll for him.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, we're like half a second since you last squeezed the trigger. Slipstream has just giggled, pulled out a data jack, and then decapitated a guy. And then there's a blam blam blam, and the guy is looking down in horror at his lung.
Holes where his lungs used to be.
Well, a bit of it's flopping out of the exit wound at the back, but as he's looking down, you just do the merciful thing and put 3 rounds, 1 through his throat, 1 through sort of jaw area, and 1 through his skull, and just the back of his head, bits of skull and brain everywhere. He's dead before he hits the floor. And
this dude, who I think is in half decent condition.
He's not bleeding. Well, he might be. He is covered in a lot of blood.
Yeah, he's been behind that guy
and...
as he got shot a lot.
Oh God! There's a chunk of the guy's mustache. There's a chunk of the guy's brain hanging on his mustache.
Ugh.
That's just disgusting. Honestly, take better self-hygiene, sir.
I don't think he had much choice in the matter.
Cerebrospinal fluid is not a good mustache wax.
We will take this from your opinion, Jack. We won't ask how you know.
Yeah, that's the best.
Anyway, this dude is getting the turns long burst.
So he's getting the turns long burst.
-1 because I did it this way around, but I wanted to get rid of the injured dude with the short burst. Oh, fuck off. Lame 2 hits.
No, I won't. I'm the GM.
Not you, the dice. Can I, like, average those 2 rolls a bit?
No. However, you do have 2 net hits on your out of your 2 hits, so it's not so bad.
And that was a long narrow, so 13 AP -2 lethal.
Yeah. Dude's having a bad day.
Well, it's over now.
It actually is. How's he dying?
The burst of machine gun fire starts at center of mass and recoils upwards.
It's kind of similar to his mate. Put it this way, that corridor out, anybody who tries to go through there at speed at this point is gonna have to make a gymnastics check to avoid
Slipping on the blood and guts.
and other viscera that you're not entirely sure what they are, and nor do you wish to question this too closely.
I did not know a human body contained that part.
Don't eat the green wobbly bit.
Well, I don't know what that color is, and I don't want to know what that color was. That color doesn't normally come out of people, and I'm slightly concerned, but I'm not going to ask any questions to which I don't want to know the answers.
Meanwhile, round the front of the building, Vinny and Dienka run out from behind the car they've been using for cover towards the front door. They're both pulling what look like grenades out their coats. And there's a smash, and they fling the grenades in, and you can just see them holding the door shut. And there is one hell of a bang and a lot of screaming.
Does that door there, like, fly open in...
So the front door they're leaning against just bursts outwards, and the 2 sturdy orcs holding the door down the stairs manage... They're all right. Vinny's got some splinters in his back, but whatever. And that's us out of combat.
There's still that dude.
Oh, there is, isn't there? Never mind.
He's not finished having a bad day yet.
So yeah, some of the Havoc gargoyles, they're just holding back the crowd. Toiga, what would you like to do with your turn? There's not a great deal at this point, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So my free action's going to be dropping the illusion of the big scary troll and the biker helmet out front. Because I've been doing that for the whole time this was going on. I'm pretty knackered.
Yep. It's kind of unnecessary at this point.
Yep. So he just turns around to the gargoyles that are there, puts both fists in the air, shouts Trog rights, and then vanishes.
And just are you using magic to vanish, or are you Dr. Zoidberging your way out of there?
No, he just goes like...
The image I have is him doing the Zoidberg walk, but with the bike still held between his legs.
He picks it up and crotch walks it away. I'm going to stay in the safety of the van, but I am going to tell my beast spirit to run down those stairs as well, so we can sort of see what's going on.
That's absolutely fine. You have a spirit link with the spirit, so you get impressions back from it. You don't get to see it, but it'll give you a description. Okay, so yeah, a whole bunch of gangers do shit. Yeah, that one ganger that's left is just gonna throw the shotgun that he's holding on the floor and put his hands on his head and just start begging for his life. He's just begging you not to kill him.
Well, this puts us in an interesting moral conundrum.
Does it? Does it really?
I'm going to drop us out of combat. Toiga, your spirit goes off, and it sends you back an image of a room in the squat. It's a kitchen. There's some mattresses on the floor. There's 2 big old burn marks in the middle of the carpet, like, you know, the really cheap, crappy carpet tiles? that you had like at school and in offices and stuff like that. Floors made up of those with 2 massive burn marks in them and just bits of shrapnel and flechettes stuck into everything in the room, including the gangers and parts of gangers. They
are chunky salsa.
Yeah, they flung 2 frag grenades into the room and let Chunky Salsa do the rest.
Carpeted kitchen. They deserved their fate.
That I can agree with.
So, Slipstream would like to do thing.
Okay, what's happening?
What horror is going to burst upon the human race now?
So, this asshole, yes?
Oh, there is a thing we need to do with him, actually. My apologies. I need to do his bleed out to see if he dies.
Oh yes, we need to save people's lives.
Yes, we need to make sure that he's alive, and then we need to make sure that the elf is still okay.
Other way around, but yes.
All right, no, you've got a little while before he takes another box. So if you've got a trauma patch, you can stabilize him.
Well, I could, and I do. However, I would like to carve thing onto chest.
All right, I'll say that you can do this in such a way that it isn't actually going to kill him. What are you carving into his chest with the tip of your sword?
Dosvady Jajivult, which is it'll heal before your wedding, which is a Russian way of saying you'll live, followed by Может Vit, which means maybe.
Fair enough.
I mean, obviously, if I can, introduce some carbon in there to make permanent color, that would be good, but if not, scarification is okay.
There's an ashtray.
Yes, this is fine. This asshat deserves this. So, then I maybe will put trauma patch on, I suppose.
So Slipstream picks up the ashtray off the coffee table. It's a glass one, about 6 inches in diameter, that's kind of overflowing with spliff butts and cigarette butts. Spends a few moments just artistically carving some beautiful Cyrillic characters into it. Nobody else here can actually appreciate the calligraphy of this with the tip of the sword in his chest. Dumps the contents of the ashtray onto his chest and just grinds it into the wound with his foot. Pulls a trauma patch out of their pocket and just slaps it on his cheek.
A little too hard.
And Frankie is now stabilized. He is not going to die. He's probably going to wish he died.
Well, he is not going to die yet.
Meanwhile, Mav is going to see to their hostage, Abby.
She's got a little bit of blood coming out of her ears, but she does... Actually, no, have you got any medical knowledge or first aid?
I have a first aid kit.
Do you have the first aid skill?
I can use this instead of my skill, which I lack.
I was asking if you have the skill for a particular reason.
I do not have the skill.
Okay, so you hook up your first aid kit to Abby, and it comes back basically saying, subject is unconscious, subject has not suffered serious physical damage, error.
Well, that's good.
So hit with stim patch.
Later.
She will come round.
Probably easier to leave her, yes.
Okay, the drones are going to come in to cover on this side. Huggy will get out of the van and remove the jam from Grendel, and then send Grendel in to check the rest of the building.
Before Grendel goes, it's anybody watching, this is slightly disturbing as you see, the sort of Boston Dynamics style robots.
The dog ones.
Oh god, those are terrifying.
Yeah, something like that, but with a fucking light machine gun on its back, rubbing the machine gun affectionately up against the troll's leg before going off to have a look in the room.
Huggy will pat its head and sort of go, "Go," and then send it off, like you would a dog.
I am going to shrug my axe up onto my shoulders, push that living guy down, just say good choice as I'm walking past, and I'm going to go straight for Frankie and check him for the comlink.
As you do, could you only need 1 hit for this, could you make me a gymnastics check? If you don't have it, agility -1, please. And I will explain why once you have made the test.
I believe you already did earlier.
There is another reason for this particular one.
That's a one hit.
Yeah, you managed to avoid the rapidly spreading puddle of piss that's going down his jeans leg.
Oh.
Okay. Didn't see that one coming.
Could you give me a perception check, please, Mirren?
That's 3 hits.
Yeah, it's just in his pocket. It's not hidden or anything. It's actually relatively easy to find.
I mean, that's where we keep our comlinks, generally.
Question for all of you. How much does a deck go for? And how easy is it to trace one of its old owners?
Well, it's actually a comlink because of the way that 4th Ed Matrix works, but they can basically wipe it. It takes a bit of time, but you basically just reformat it.
Well, in that case, why don't we steal the deck of this comlink as well? Because it seems to be a half decent. And decks go for a fair amount of money.
In terms of the comlink, you have for the decker, who's searching him?
Well, Huggy is going to be staying in the van. But she will suggest that to somebody else that they check the decker to see if it's worth taking.
Alright, so who's having a look?
Nav's gonna finish sweeping the place before he goes looting.
Alright.
Is there still 3 closed doors?
That door is no longer closed. That door has been opened via grenade. So these 2 are closed.
Then there are 2 other doors. I will open them.
Yeah. There's just the place they were having a game of poker, something like that. There's also, it's an actual bedroom. The bed covers are fucking everywhere. It stinks of sex in here as well. It's pretty obvious what was going on.
Definitely strip poker.
Is anyone doing anything about our hostage?
I pushed him down into the blood and gore of all his friends. Told him he was a good boy.
He pissed himself, so you rubbed his nose in it.
Well, yeah. I
You get a dog to stop pissing itself, right?
Is Nazi scum.
One of the drones will be standing over him, keeping watch to make sure he isn't moving.
I mean, he is Nazi scum. It's too good for him.
I'll go have a look for that other comlink.
Thank you for listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoy the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. Intro is More Human Than Human by Karl Casey, and the background music is also by Karl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash. All sound effects are from freesound.org and credited in the show notes. The Topps Company Inc. has the sole ownership of the names, logo, artworks, marks, photographs, audio, video, and or any other proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. So if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit.